So you want to go and get a Nintendo Switch console for yourself or for the little ones, and you see the Nintendo Switch Lite and think maybe this is for you, a cheaper handheld console experience that you can take anywhere that you want to and having console quality games. But is it worth the $200 price point, or should you go with the original Nintendo Switch? I'll be talking about that right here, right now. My name is Brian Saviano, aka Bricks O'Brien, and I've been playing with my Nintendo Switch Lite for a couple of days now. I didn't want to go and release my review right away because I was actually going on a trip and wanted to take this with me as the ultimate test for the durability of the console, how it feels, and just get to know the console a little bit more before giving my final opinions on it. And a brief summary of how I feel about it is I absolutely love this console more than the original Nintendo Switch, but it doesn't have any benefit really for me, but it might just have benefits for you if you've never had a Switch console or you want to pick this up as a secondary one to have in your household. So in case you don't know, the original Nintendo Switch, as you can see right here with fingerprint smudges on it, is quite a bit of a bulky console, and the gimmick of the console is that the two controllers here on the sides can be removed. You can use both controllers to play a game by yourself, or take each of these Joy-Con and have two players involved in the gameplay action. Now, the idea of the Nintendo Switch Lite, you don't have Joy-Con. It's all one console. It's all attached. You can see the reflection. You can see that there's no Joy-Con. It's just this individual unit right here, which does make it a bit more stable, but there's no multiplayer functionality with it whatsoever. There's no separation between each of the controller bits on the left and the right of the console. It's a much more stable unit than I think what you're used to seeing with the Nintendo Switch itself. So contrary to the branding of the console, it being Nintendo Switch, there is no switching happening here. This is meant as a single player screen, and with the original Nintendo Switch, you can hook this up to your TV at any point by sliding it into the dock. You just connect an HDMI cable to your TV. With the Nintendo Switch Lite, that's actually not possible. So as much as I love this console, you can't hook it up to the TV, which is primarily how I play my games, and I obviously record them for all of you. So just keep in mind that you can't do that. So that's really the functionality of the console. Otherwise, the entire experience of playing games is identical to the original Nintendo Switch. This console does not pale in comparison at all to its older brother. All games play exactly the same, except ones that you need to have a detached Joy-Con for. So Super Mario Party, which you need one Joy-Con to play with, you can't actually play the game. You gotta buy Joy-Con separately to use on a Nintendo Switch Lite if you want to play it. It forces you to buy a new set of controllers, which you may already have. You know, are you really gonna pay $60 for Mario Party and then another $45 for one Joy-Con? And then you're not gonna get one Joy-Con, you're gonna get two as a set. So are you really gonna pay $140 to play Mario Party? Probably not. So that's it in terms of functionality. Now, the build itself, I love. This console is much lighter than the original Nintendo Switch by a wide margin, and you can see the specific weight of it on screen, but not even factoring in how much it actually weighs. The fact that I can hold this without it weighing down on my hands over time just makes it so I can play sessions longer. I don't feel like that this is going to fall out of my hands because it's ever so slightly too heavy with the original Nintendo Switch. With this, it's lightweight enough that it can fit more so in your coat pocket inside of a carry-on for a plane or something like that, and you can hold it above your head as you're lying in bed, and it actually feels relatively good. You don't have the fear of it falling on your face or your arms getting tired over time. It's just light enough that you can do that comfortably for hours on end. The buttons are a little bit quieter, and I really can't convey it on camera at all. I would hold up the buttons to the microphone here, but you wouldn't be able to tell. But if you compared each of the two, the buttons are a bit squishier on the Nintendo Switch Lite, and they feel a little bit better. And the big pro that the hardcore gamers definitely appreciate is the D-pad. For games that need to have specific platforming sections, you need to have a D-pad, whereas on the original Nintendo Switch, there's just 4 buttons. You're not going to be able to move as effectively with those buttons compared to an original D-pad. So in that aspect, it works really well. The only thing I fear with these three models of the Switch, because obviously there's the yellow, the turquoise, and the gray, is not the colors themselves, because they're gorgeous. I love the yellow color of this console, but I fear that you or your kids are gonna have a nice big old bag of Cheetos and accidentally maybe stain the buttons that are on here. That was a very big problem with original Wii remotes because of the way the buttons were material-wise, and if you had like pizza sauce on you or Cheetos, Doritos, something like that where it was like a red, coloring to it, whatever, you would totally stain up the controllers and absolutely ruin it, and I obviously did that in my younger years. I still do it now, but that's why I have a black Wii remote and none of that shows, so I fear that maybe that might happen here. I obviously am not going to try it because I'm actually giving this to a buddy of mine, so I don't want to give him Cheeto Finger Nintendo Switch Lite controls. Now, in terms of durability, you have less of a likelihood of breaking the whole console because, well, at least with the original Nintendo Switch, these Joy-Con can come off. So if this happens to snap at a wrong angle, you could totally mess up the railing of the Joy-Con right there, and kids definitely jam these up by putting these the wrong way or flipping it onto the wrong side or something like that. Crazy things can happen, but that really can't happen with the Nintendo Switch Lite because it's all one big unit. Obviously, don't throw it out a window, get a screen protector for it, get a case for it, but it's definitely going to have less things to go wrong with it as compared to the original Nintendo Switch. Now, one of the issues with the original Nintendo Switch that may end up plaguing the Switch Lite is the Joy-Con drift, where over time these control sticks don't become as responsive and you could keep your console not moving at all, but for some reason it drifts upward. There's something about the internals of the Joy-Con that cause it to malfunction, causing the controls to go all haywire. And what you'd have to do is send in your Joy-Con to Nintendo, and over weeks they would replace it, and that just takes away from your gaming experience. Now, you're not able to remove the Joy-Con from this system, so if this happens to be a thing with the Switch Lite, which we don't know because the system hasn't been around long enough yet, well, then you have to replace your whole console, or you have to send in your whole entire console to Nintendo to get that issue fixed, and obviously, you don't want to do that with your console that you just got. Now, would I recommend that you pick up one of these as opposed to an original Nintendo Switch? I mean, for my purposes, I always play on the TV, so not having a docking feature with this Switch right here, this is entirely obsolete for me. Although I love the build quality, I love the colors, I love the weight of the console for handheld mode, it doesn't apply to me. And I feel like not having that capability with the Switch Lite it's just a thing that I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. As much as you may be an exclusively mobile gamer, if you want to toss on Breath of the Wild onto the big screen or play Hulu on your big screen through the Nintendo Switch, you can't put that on the big screen if you have the Switch Lite. Although it's a bit bulkier, you can toss it on the dock and get that full-on big screen experience if you wanted to. So if you're willing to go without that and you know you're going to be playing exclusively in handheld mode all the time, then yeah, go with this. If you have a Nintendo Switch already in the household and you can take the Joy-Con from here and combine them with the Nintendo Switch Lite to play more multiplayer games, then yeah, go for this. This is a fantastic supplementary console. I don't know about it being your only means of playing games because, again, I love that big screen experience. Obviously, I'm recording gameplay and whatnot. I need that. And as much as I love playing the Nintendo Switch Lite overlooking the Toronto skyline while I was away on business, it's not necessarily something that I need to do. And the Nintendo Switch itself does the job just fine, but even holding these two right now, wow, that is a big weight difference. And it really makes my mind boggle because of how much power there is in the Nintendo Switch Lite. The fact that it is so much lighter, it can play console quality games on a system like this small. It's super small. Like, I can hold it in the palm of my hands like this. It's just awesome. So the Nintendo Switch Lite retails for $200. The original Nintendo Switch retails for $300. So in a way, you're paying a little bit more to get a heavier console and to get that HDMI hookup so you can play it on the TV, but then you can obviously get it at a discount, maybe on sale here or there. So I think you could get either of these on sale eventually, some Black Friday special, or someone's gonna have some sort of deal or bundle on it eventually in time for Christmas. But if you know that your kids are incredibly clumsy, they're gonna drop stuff, and they're not the best about taking care of things, then yeah, go with the Nintendo Switch Lite. There's definitely less that can go wrong with this console as compared to the heavier, bulkier older brother. But hey, that's just my insight. I do love this thing, and I'm gonna be very sorry to see it go. Hopefully you can make a decision from this video and a little more research on your own. Make sure you look into all of your options, because with the Nintendo Switch, you definitely have plenty of options for colors and builds and whatnot. That's my opinion. My name is Brian Saviano, aka Bricks O'Brien, and I'll see you again next time for more Nintendo Switch videos and other things as well. If there's any other products you want me to review, I guess I'll do that too, because I really like this. And it was an excuse for me to buy this console, but I don't need it, so that's why I'm giving it to my buddy. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else by any means of the internet, let me know. But until then, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace out. Bye.